All
Holy
right.
fucking shit, dude.
We are here. We are here. We are
Who would have
live.
guessed it? Who would have guessed it? The boys are back in town.
Welcome everybody back to the 6th season of Chairgatin.
Ooh,
Coming
roll
at you
out the phone.
live once again from the Snake Pit here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'm your host, Rattlesnake, joined with my co-host, Dakota. What up, Dakota?
What up, baby? Dude, the boys back in town. The boys back in town. Dude, we're fucking doing it. I really was like, I don't know. We're so busy. We're adulting. And here we are re-racking it. The Netflix series came out, and I couldn't help but swell up a bit. And we had to get back in the studio, and we got to bring more content, and we got to bring more race talking because I got a lot to talk about. I don't know if I'm happy or mad, but NASCAR's back. We're going back racing. Let's get this thing started.
Let's do it. What's up? It's Chairgatin coming at you live.
Hello, come right in. Rock, flag, and eagle.
I was just gonna say that music was good to get me pumped up again. Hearing that intro.
Yeah, dude. Doing it.
What up, Uncle Chuck Racing?
This big chart, the big C block in the house.
Yeah.
I was living the dream, dude. All our friends are out here just living the fucking dream, chasing their goals, and
Speaking
just
of living and
working in
dreaming, chasing
NASCAR.
their goals. Look who else is tuned in.
Woo!
Hey.
Look at that boy, dude. Look at that boy. I hope you got my joke in the group chat, Don.
What up? What up?
I was whatchamacallit, subliminally being mean as shit to you.
What up, Cohen?
Nice
Cohen, I'll see you at the Daytona 500 watch party.
Oh shit, y'all having a get together?
Oh, you know it, yeah.
Are you gonna do it at your house?
No, you know I'm doing it at my parents' house.
Okay, so I was gonna bring that up later about YouTube TV.
No, you know what? They got a subscription at their house.
Your parents did?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Because we're talking about we're gonna have a throwdown for the 500.
Yeah, you're good. I don't need any of the access. You got it all.
Well, I was gonna ask because I was gonna put it on in the living room and on the deck.
And you got it, dude.
Want to go outside? It's on out there too.
No, I showed him. I showed my dad YouTube TV. I was like, "Look how awesome this shit is," and he was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna get it myself." So, yep, they got it now at their house.
What a baller move!
I know.
Hey, Big Rob.
Hey,
we missed you, boy. Forever and always.
Damn. Yeah. What up? What up? Yeah, dude, we got Charles, man. He's got a little pod going on. We got to get him.
Yeah, we got to collab. I mean, I'm very impressed.
I'm working and drinking at Daytona right now. What up,
Hello, Rob in the house.
Yeah, our boy, dude.
Cheers, son.
Welcome back to Chairgatin, man. It's been a minute. We're back. We're excited. You know, we're excited to be here. We enjoy the off season, and every off season, we're always like, man, when are we gonna get back into it? Like, it's kind of a drag, you know. We have our families and our jobs and shit. And then the Netflix show came out. And I was like, dude, we got to hop back on a podcast.
Dude, as soon as my work process. Hey, Rob, we love you. I totally was like, dude, I don't give a fuck. I think I was depressed pretty much all the way through December. I have not thought once about fucking racing. Ain't thought about race cars. Haven't even seen a lot of stuff. And then I was like, okay, I talked to Cody with LTC a little bit here and there. He's like, dude, come on, you aren't excited about this? And I'm like, dude, right. I haven't thought once about it. And then all of a sudden, people were like, you know, the Clash is in 2 weeks, right? And I was like, the Clash? What? I was like, it's January. I've been busy as shit at work. And I was like, the fucking Clash is coming up. I didn't even realize it was February yet. And then all of a sudden, they were like, yo, the Netflix show's coming out. And I was like, the Netflix show's out? Hold on a minute. Me and the girl, we put it on, started knocking out, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I literally I went ran in my room and grabbed my bush hat and was like, knocked the dust off of it and was like, we're back. And I was like, all right, hey kids, what did I miss?
I am sending the link to Connor right now.
Oh shit, a little special guest coming in?
So he might be hopping on here in a minute. Connor, if you're watching, I just emailed you that link. You got it, buddy. Yeah, it was. Yeah, this is the most detox I've been on social media. Yeah, that was another thing. Social media taking a break.
I think I'm pretty proud of myself. from November through like mid-January, I didn't get on Twitter at all. Like I just
say the
totally
same.
turned
I've been
Twitter
very
off.
active.
I turned 12. You had college football to brag
Yeah,
about.
exactly. If I had
I
college
totally, I
football,
literally, well, the hard part was like being in deer stand, but I just like fucked around on Instagram and stuff. But that's the thing I did. I was like, I don't even want to see anything racing. I got off Twitter for like 2.5 months. But the thing now is I'm like, I don't even want to like get on here. But then I'm like, hold on, let's get the gating going. Let's get the fucking hype
now
going.
that
Let's talk mad
NASCAR's back.
shit. I want now NASCAR's back. I want to talk mad shit. I want to piss everybody off, and I want to wear my heart on my sleeve because I got some things to say. And it's like, yeah, oh, Daddy's back.
So what did you think of the Netflix show? What is it even called? Full Speed or something like that?
Yeah, NASCAR Full Speed. I kind of wish it was a couple more episodes, but they fit it in perfectly. Like,
yeah, it makes sense how they did it.
When I turned it on, I was like, 5 episodes? What the fuck? And then like they were like, we're trying to make the playoffs in Daytona. And I was like, they're not even starting the playoffs in the first episode. How the fuck are they gonna fit all this in the next? And all of a sudden there was like Phoenix. I hit, thank God Dale Jr. produced that, but they hit the show on the head. What up, Eddie? They hit the show went like, I mean, all I can ask for is I wish there was more, but they produced
a good thing to want.
It was unedited. NASCAR. That was awesome. You got like behind the scene look at what was going on. I know there's more with like, authorizations and what drivers were asked to film and which ones denied.
Right, because Brad Kay said he was never even asked.
Yeah, and it's like, wow, I wish like there was 20 drivers instead of like 5.
Yeah, that was my biggest thing. It's like, man, there's so many more drivers I want to hear from.
Exactly, and I'm sure maybe with this publicity, I hope it comes back for another season. But
it's got to, man.
I hope they're like, let's go into some other drivers, or let's do 10 drivers.
Yeah, I agree. It was cool getting to see some of the drivers that you don't normally get to hear from or see, outside of the track.
Yeah.
Specifically the guys that jumped off to me, really the main guy that kind of popped off the screen for me was Willie B. They gave him a lot of screen time, which he deserved, but I was like, damn, he actually kind of has a little personality, doesn't he?
Which one? I didn't even hear what you said.
Willie B.
Oh, Willie B. Yeah. Sorry. I'm jammering. Willie B. That was the thing. I really was like, wow, this is the most I've ever fucking heard him talk. And I was totally like, you know what, cool. Good on Willie B. Like hearing his thought process on what he's thinking.
Yeah.
Like, pre-race weekend. But then they broke out the Legos. And I was like, yeah, that's why I'm not a Willie B fan.
No, I'm not saying I can be a Willie B fan by any means. I'm just like, good for him for like getting in front of a camera for once.
Yeah.
And, like, showing his personality. Yeah. Cause there are people I think that will watch that and be like, you know what? I kind of like fuck with this guy.
Yeah.
I'm, he's almost, he's a nerd, like straight up. Let's just call it what it is. He's kind of a nerdy little kid and he seems nice and everything, but there are people out there I think that are going to watch that and be like, damn, that might be my driver.
And even right under when that same umbrella is Christopher Bell.
I was just going to bring up Bell as well, actually.
I totally was like, am I going to be a Christopher Bell fan?
Yeah.
Because he looked like he was motivated, pissed off, had a chip on his shoulder. And he's like, do you think people underestimate you? And he's like,
absolutely. And he loved it.
Yeah. I don't know why they do. He's like, they absolutely do. And he's like, I'm in the Final Four.
If I came into NASCAR, or if I came in this Full Speed, not as a NASCAR fan, I'd probably walk away and be like, I might be a Christopher Bell fan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I had no like pre-existing knowledge of NASCAR or anything, just based on personalities, I would watch that show and be like, I kind of like Christopher Bell. This dude seems like an underdog. He seems like a fucking dog. Like he wants to win. Oh, by the way, we have a guest that just popped in. We have our very own.
Speaking of superstars,
we got Ty Gibbs right here joining us.
Ty Gibbs, straight off getting dumped at the Clash while you're eating,
and he's eating dinner.
Yeah, does he fuck up that race on Saturday?
Damn it, boy! What is up? Long time alumni of the
shot, Connor here. You said you wanted to come on. You had something to bitch about. Let's hear what you got.
Yeah, jump right in it. There's no structure.
How I fucked up that race on Saturday.
Oh, dude, we were totally impressed. Ty Gibbs was, what did you lead? 83 laps or something?
The whole thing.
The whole goddamn race just to get shunted to the back and spun to oblivion by all those veteran drivers picking on the young kid. I think Ty Gibbs is going to be on a goddamn warpath this season. What up, Nick?
I hope so.
Connor, have we decided what you owe me for like not winning a single race last year?
Yeah, Texan turned Myrtle. You think I won't get that tattoo? I will. I don't really have much to live for anymore. I'm looking into getting a tail tattoo. I have a I don't know when's the last time I've been on here, but I have a mullet now.
That doesn't count as a mullet,
the
dude.
mullet.
Come
It's
on.
cute. It's cute though.
Yeah, that is not a mullet. Come on.
Well, it depends on what type of mullet we're talking about. There's like 2 different types of mullet.
No, there's not. There's mullet and then there's not mullet, and you have not mullet, Connor.
There's Australian mullet and there's American mullet.
Shut the fuck up, Connor. Oh my god. You got French mullet.
Australian
Dude.
mullet?
You got Chinese mullet right now, brother. You don't got any mullet.
I've got hat hair right now.
You got
brother.
Edward Cullen mullet. Damn it.
Who's Ty Gibbs? I don't know. That's a good question. Who is Ty Gibbs? Somebody that hasn't won a race yet in the Cup Series.
Not yet. It's coming up though this season.
So yeah, I think Ty is gonna be on a warpath.
I wouldn't make that bet with you this season. I'll say that much.
We can double down.
No, I'm saying I don't want to. I don't feel as confident going into this season. Last season, his rookie year, I didn't think he was gonna get a win because he's a rookie. Nothing against him, but yeah, now it's his second year. I'm not. I think he's confident.
I'd say he wins too.
Ooh, that would be an interesting bet. Actually, multiple wins. That would be an interesting bet.
I mean, I would see a win. I see a win this year. I mean, especially after Saturday. Saturday was encouraging to see. I don't know. I expected big things out of Ty this year. I didn't really expect him to kind of come out and dominate the Clash. Granted, that track is like none other that we'll see on the schedule. There's similarities.
Right.
Martinsville, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But that was pretty impressive. I don't know. I mean, Toyotas in general were really fast. All the Gibbs cars, minus Bell missing the big show, I guess. But it was still encouraging to see how fast.
Which was very interesting.
After hearing stuff, they were like, "We'll just go out on scuffed tires. We'll be fine."
Yeah,
they were not fine.
Yeah,
he said they chose the tires, and that was what kind of just killed him.
Yeah, I don't know why you would put on your only set of stickers going into the third practice and then have to qualify on scuffs. I mean, that just doesn't really.
Do you think they were just like, "Fuck it, it's the Clash. Let's just try something"?
I think it was a typical like Adam Stevens move to just be like, fuck it, let's go against the grain here.
We're not gonna not make it, duh. That's what it seemed like.
Bumped.
Oh,
sorry, I ruined your AD shirt. You know, Nick, I lost a couple LBs, so it fits better now. So no.
Snowboarding shape.
Yeah, that's literally all it is. It's like winter comes around, I go snowboarding a lot, I lose a couple pounds, and then summer's gonna come back around. I'll get
summer goes, I pound a couple dozen more beers, get them LBs back up.
Yep, every single time, dude. Once the NASCAR season starts, I put it right back on.
Man. Oh, dude, but yeah, I think I really honestly, when I first saw the Toyota nose in like a couple testing pictures, I was like, "Ooh, god damn!" And then, lo and behold, impatient me, I saw some fucking renderings of these schemes and these wraps, and I was like, "Yo, fuck, that Toyota goes hard as shit." And then seeing some of the cars at the Clash, I was like, "Dude, that new Toyota is sexy as shit."
I'm gonna die on this hill. I still don't like it, and I never will. Nah, it looks like an EV, straight up. It looks like an EV. I can't get behind that. It does.
I think it looks good. I don't know what EVs look like.
Dakota also thinks hybrids look cool, or what are those?
Whoa!
Yeah, Toyota hybrid. That's kind of what it looks like.
Is that what it looks like? I don't know.
To me, that's what it looks like.
I think those look good as cup cars because they're not EVs. I also like the new Mustang, dude. The fucking Fords look good.
Dakota,
I feel like Chevy's like, oh shit, we needed to make a new nose.
I think you're gonna be biting your tongue in like 2 or 3 years when it is EV.
Well, I won't be watching.
And they have the same design, and this was all just a way for them to tease this in because they're like, look how cool it looks. I'm telling you, man.
As long as it's fast, I don't care what it looks like.
Yeah, I got to rant.
Ty was straight away in the field, so I was like, I don't care if he's driving a fucking lawnmower. I mean, as long as it's fast.
All right, Connor, what if we have that Toyota, the exact same, how it looks, everything, but it's electric and it's fast?
Yeah.
You said as long as it's fast.
I mean, it is what it is. As long as it's fast and he's winning races, I really don't care. I mean,
I quit.
No. Yeah,
all this shit's coming down. I'm
Cut the
I'm
show.
done. Yeah,
that would be the straw.
Cut the show,
I
dude.
feel like this is the same conversation we were having a couple years ago when it was like, hey, move the numbers forward. I'm done. I'm out of here. And here we are. Every February.
Hey,
Shut your fucking mouth.
Hey, man, I always said, and you can go back and check me on this shit. I told Dakota, I said, where is your line in the sand? And I said, it's not numbers for me. It's going to be hybrid engines. I always said, we start going electric. That's where I draw the line. Numbers annoy me. Single lug annoyed me. But electric, it's like, come on, man. You know what? Chairgatin will go on just to bitch about NASCAR if it ever goes like.
We don't even watch. What about 2024?
It's just gonna be a podcast where we watch old races.
Dude, that's not a bad play.
That's actually not a bad play.
Yeah, tonight we're watching the 91 500. And we're like,
tonight we're gonna live stream 2002 Talladega.
Yeah, I would actually just watch old Dega races.
Do you think that's actually the direction NASCAR is really going to go in, though, to go full EV?
I mean,
eventually, yeah.
I think so.
Eventually, yes.
Why? I don't think so. I really don't.
Why race in a football field?
Why does SNL cancel Shane Gillis and then hire him as the host of their show?
Because I saw him on Joe Rogan.
Because companies are fucking stupid and people give way too much credit to big corporations. They're all run by idiots. Like, they're making dumb decisions and they'll get fired because it'll fail in like 5 years and then they'll have to go back.
Yeah, I hope HR isn't watching this. I work for Toyota.
You shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, whatever. I work in racing too. I don't care.
Matter of fact, I have court tomorrow.
Oh yeah, how's your back feeling, bud?
Well, we'll see tomorrow when I roll up to court with a neck brace on and a WWE spinner belt.
Damn.
I can't wait for them to play this in court.
Like, it says here.
Forget HR, dude. They're playing this in court.
God, pull up this video. Like, oh shit.
Hey, Chairgatin's famous, dude. We're getting played in courtrooms.
All things considered, though, I don't think we go back to LA for the Clash. But for the past 3 years, in my opinion, I think it went better than what I expected.
Disagree, Andy. I think Cup will eventually go EV. That's me personally. I
don't know. I don't think so.
You got way too much faith. I will not underestimate NASCAR's ability to piss everybody off. I will never underestimate it.
You know what's annoying as fuck is all the like, what the fuck are we doing? Change. And then like, but wait, we're bringing it back. The Wilkesboro old school throwback, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Darlington, baby. And you're like, oh yeah, I do love NASCAR. Wait. And they hook you in to last a little longer. And then you're like, God damn, these fucking playoffs. What the fuck, dude? This is such bullshit. And then all of a sudden they're like, what about this Netflix show, huh? You like that?
Yeah, true. And you're like, okay.
Okay, I guess I'll watch.
Okay. Connor, you were bringing this up. Clash. Everybody's been talking about it. What do you think the future holds for the Clash?
Well, I don't think we get rid of it. I think that would be a big ass step backwards. I think if it goes anywhere, just move it back to Daytona. I mean, I think the Clash at LA was cool. The first year was a major success.
It was cute.
Yeah, I mean, it was good for what it was. I think the 3-year run it had is about all it needs to be.
Trying to get into like mainstream media. They did that. Yep.
I don't think we need to go overseas. I think that's just a loss of money. We definitely don't need to go to a road course that's just straying further away from what we are. The Clash strictly needs to be a build-up for the Daytona 500, and there's no better place to do that than at Daytona. So if everybody's like, running on Thursday before Daytona. No. Keep it like Saturday night. Make it like a Saturday night showdown, and then we're down in Daytona for the full week. You know, we're doing media day, we're doing practice, qualifying, the duels, all the 9.
Dirt racing's already down in Daytona. Like the racing world is already down there. It's not like it's crazy for us to be down there already.
And Daytona's like what, a 7-hour ride for them, 9-hour ride for them instead of across the whole country. What was wrong with running the Clash on Saturday night and then qualifying on Sunday? I was like, yeah, that was your weekend. Like, NASCAR's back and the Daytona 500's next weekend. Instead, and then I get the Super Bowl competing with blah blah blah. It's like now I'm like, oh, I have this whole weekend of like, I don't know what I'll do because the Daytona 500's not until next weekend. Ty's been on that sauce, boy.
On the podcast
because I'm low budget and shitty.
I mean, I know Junior talked about it on his pod. I know Denny talked about it. I think
they both all hit it on the head.
Yeah, I think they both made great points. I think Junior really
great
knocked out of the park.
storylines, walking right into the Daytona 500.
I think Junior knocked out of the park about just like, hey, this is just build up for Daytona. Like, let's stop pretending it's anything but that. And I think Denny had a good point about like, hey, let's just bring it back to pole winners, so people aren't out there like wasting their time and their money when they aren't going to be racing.
I don't care if there's 6 cars in the field.
I don't either. Yeah,
that's fine.
I think going back to pole winners was awesome. I don't know why we didn't just stay with that. I kind of like that.
What kills me is the nobody went down there and went to the race. Okay, it's an exhibition. I don't care if there's 0 people there.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it on TV. Is the point?
Isn't it about ratings in today's world anyway?
Right.
So that's why we make all our decisions is TV ratings. So I don't know. Like I just feel like they're gonna hop around. They're entertaining this international shit. They're gonna bullshit on some stupid other ideas, and then all of a sudden in 10 years they're gonna be like, we're going back where it all started. And they're going to be like Daytona. And it's going to be like some nostalgic throwback thing.
I think it should be just strictly pole winners. Have one champions provisional.
Yeah.
And give me like a 40, 50 lap showdown. That's all I need. I don't need no like super long race. I don't need
50 laps, no crap. That could be the whole thing. Let Busch Light sponsor it.
Yeah, I don't need it to be like long enough to where we get single file and just cruise around there to the end. Just like make it worth it for the teams for one, and don't even worry about the financials of it. I hear a lot, like everybody talks about like, oh, the team's losing finance, the team. And Junior made a good point on his podcast yesterday or today where he was like, well, you get into the sport, you know what you're getting into. Like, you're not going to get into the sport and then, ask how we're going to save money. Like, you enter this for a reason. So it's like,
I know Denny had a lot of complaints about that. And I always take his complaints about those types of things with a grain of salt, because if it was up to the team owners, the sport would be entirely different and it wouldn't be good for fans. No. So I take his opinion about how much he has to spend as a team owner with a grain of salt, because I'm like, honestly, I don't care as much about how much you're spending. Like, I care about my entertainment, and you're in the sport. Sorry, this is what you're going to have to spend. But I also thought it was interesting when he was complaining about how much they had to spend to get out there. And then his solution immediately was that NASCAR should start going to more like local short tracks and investing money. He was like, NASCAR, why are you making our teams go out there and spend money? Also, NASCAR, y'all should go to local short tracks and invest all this money. I'm like,
his whole argument wasn't even really about saving money. It was about just where are we putting the money? Like, let's just take this money that we're spending going to LA and let's just move it to a damn short track. So it's not even really about, how we're spending our money or what we're saving. It's just like where we're spending it on. And honestly, personally for me, and I love Denny as much as the next guy, but it's just tough for me to take a guy talking about financial serious who has a 30,000 square foot house.
Yeah, dude. When you see his house in that Netflix show, I'm like, oh my God.
No, that was the one thing when they went to all the shows is like, look how normal Tyler Reddick's house was. It was like, oh, that's refreshing. Like, he's normal like me. They go to Denny and it's just like pimp daddy fucking.
By the way, Tyler Reddick's house was not normal like ours, Dakota.
I meant like it was in a neighborhood.
I've been to your house. I've been to my house. That one was.
And nice. I've been to your dad's.
Okay, yeah, it's more like my dad.
It had like an average white people home.
Average, yeah, upper middle class, average white guy.
Lower class race car driver house.
Andy just brought this up in this comment about Mexico. I mean, this is
exactly where I don't give a fuck.
I know, but I'm worried. It seems like NASCAR is interested.
I think that's like already in writing somewhere.
Really?
I mean, for everything I keep seeing, they're like, they're entertaining Mexico.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see how the fans turn out there.
What is the ROI if we go to Mexico for a clash, for an exhibition race?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's probably, I don't know. I don't know where in Mexico they'd be talking about. Like,
Guadalajara is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, Kyle Busch ain't allowed in Mexico, guys.
I was just gonna say, is Kyle Busch even allowed, dude? You know what? Kyle might. That's a great out for Kyle. He's just like, fuck it, I'm not going.
Yeah.
RCR's just like, Austin's not gonna make it. Kyle's not legally allowed there, so we're just not showing up. Guys.
We're just not going. We're just gonna save money in general, just not going.
Austin's not making it. We know that. So,
well, then you heard the argument too. Is like, well, the sponsors were getting mad they weren't allowed in the clash, so they had to start letting everybody in.
I don't.
And it's like, boo, fucking who? I don't. Right. They'll pay your driver to do better. I don't know
what
the sponsors
are there to get in front of our eyeballs. So
Well,
I don't
and
care
I don't
about what the sponsors
understand.
want.
I don't understand why that's still an argument because for one, sponsors aren't dumping the amount of money they were dumping way back when into the sport. It's rare that a guy has a primary like FedEx with Denny, like they've even backed off there, and driver salary's gone down like too. So it's like, why is that even an argument to begin with? For one, like getting a sponsorship.
Yeah, just don't sponsor that race then. Like nobody
Yeah,
does full
Yeah.
seasons anymore. They pick and choose.
Oh,
what
they're not
races.
in it, so
right, and it obviously isn't like the Clash isn't getting billions of views. Like it's not something that it's not something like the Daytona 500 where people are like really setting down to like watch it. Like I
Right.
understand kickoff event, it's like a lead off event for the 500. But if we're gonna do that, then we need to do it down in Daytona because we need to be promoting the product that is gonna be showcased. Like we don't need to be.
Yes.
I mean, like I said, I thought the Clash in LA was cool for like 3 years. It's ran its course. 3 years was like the perfect time frame for it because if you go back for a fourth year, it's just going to be a shit show. Like it's just going to get boring, and it's going to get to how we were in 2020 with Daytona. It's like, why are we still doing this here? And so I don't even really necessarily think we need to leave Daytona. I think that it could have been refined better for us to do the Clash there. But I mean, bringing it back to Daytona, bringing back actual speed weeks would be nothing but beneficial for our sport because it would make the new fan kind of understand how the sport operates.
Right.
If I was a new fan getting into the sport and I watched a Clash on Saturday, I was like, oh, okay, they kicked the season off in LA, but then oh, that's an exhibition. We're going to Daytona, which is night and day compared to
so
LA.
that was that like right was what you're saying is like the Clash or I'm gonna call it what it is. The Bud Shootout always kicked off
Nice.
the fucking like NASCAR's back, baby.
Yep.
I remember being in high school being like fucking like, dude, Saturday night, fucking the Bud Shootout, and like Friday night you'd watch the show and like, oh, that was so fun. And then la-di-da, and then you're like, NASCAR's back, qualifying's tomorrow for the 500 for the pole, the duels Thursday. I'm skipping school, bitch. And now I'm like, oh, that Clash thing's next weekend, y'all said, right? Oh, fuck, I didn't even remember. Okay, let me tune in. What's going on? Oh, shit. Okay, some fake short track gimmick shit that doesn't even relate to anything that we do this whole season. And okay, it's an exhibition. I get it. Okay, all right. Well, that's over. So, oh yeah, I don't know if we told y'all, but like in 2 weeks, there's this thing called the Daytona 500. It's on this track. It's Daytona. You may have heard of it. It's nothing like what you just saw, and has nothing to do with what you just saw. But yeah, so that's when the season actually starts.
I had got one other option for another location. Tell me what you think about this. I don't know how long this would take. 'Cause I don't know if the track is ready, but from what I understand, they are like investing money back into it. A lot of NASCAR fans have been asking for this track, and it could be a cool little way to wedge it into the schedule without it actually having any impact on the season. Rockingham, right down the road from Charlotte, so teams would cost them next to nothing. Fans have been begging for it to come back. Fans would show up.
I'll take it over LA Coliseum.
Well,
that's a good point because I'm to the point where I'm like, okay, well, if it's not at Daytona, like why not just have it at Charlotte Motor Speedway?
Yeah, somewhere close to where exactly. That's what I'm getting at. Is like
so where we can bring the full field. Yeah, because we can still bring the same principle that we're doing in LA. We can bring the full field. We can have the heat races and stuff. But when we send guys home, we're sending them 15 minutes down the street.
They can literally just go back home. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not even really like a financial burden on the team.
And that's what I mean about Rockingham. That's probably an hour and a half outside Charlotte, if that.
Yeah.
It's not far. They can literally just drive back home. Yeah. And it's a track that people would show up to go back to because they'd be like, oh shit, Rockingham's back on the schedule. I'm going to that.
Yeah, just like North Wilkesboro all over again.
Exactly. So instead of like taking out the All-Star with North Wilkesboro, you would just do like Clash to cap off the season or start off the season.
The only thing you'd have to worry about with like Charlotte, Rockingham, I guess, would be like weather related. But I mean, obviously this weekend we dealt with shitty weather and made do with it. It's just kind of
raced cars more and dirt track in the cold. I've never understood the like cold thing. Well, it's just like they played football when it was negative like 4 degrees. And that to me would be way harder than racing a car.
Well, and we know
I'll get a jacket. I'll bundle up.
We know in February, like Daytona, Florida is not the best place when it comes to weather either. So
hell no. The wind whipping off that ocean.
Right. And the rain and everything. I mean, it's not.
You go to Daytona, you're either freezing or you're like, I can wear a t-shirt.
And there's a 50-50 chance you're watching the race on Monday.
The dumbest take I heard, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but the dumbest take I heard was like the Clash just needs to follow the Super Bowl wherever the Super Bowl is, and I'm like, why are we chasing? Why
do you care about the Super Bowl so much?
Like, why are we chasing the NFL? Why are we chasing the NFL fan? Why are we trying to like collab where it's like, okay, here's the Super Bowl and here's the Clash, and try and like.
Well, this is what they do, so we need to do it.
Yeah,
I've never understood for the last 2 decades we chase this invisible phantom fan that is yet to come.
Yep.
I'm sure they move the Clutch Charlotte, but run Charlotte Hornets basketball.
Run it in the Hornets basketball.
Hey, all this bashing aside, I will commend NASCAR. I've never seen anything like this in my life. The call to move the race to Saturday night was the fucking pimpest shit they've done in a long time. Because I totally was like, no fucking way, this is fake. Like, who posted this? And then I was like, oh my God, they moved it. And I was totally like, they're taking a huge L here, like financially. But I was like, wow. And then it was like, yeah, they're not going to race at all if they don't. I was like, yeah, traditional NASCAR would have been like, I don't know what to do. What do I do with my hands?
Yeah, at least they pulled the trigger on that.
Yeah, they pulled the trigger and did it. And I was totally blown away. Like, wow, hey, props. Y'all had some balls.
Do you think it was more so because do you think it was like, okay, well, here's the weather breakdown, here's when we can get this in, or do you think it was more so like the Coliseum be like, hey, you guys have like,
we're tearing that shit down Monday, whether it rains or not.
Yeah, probably 50-50.
But honestly, like,
a lot of influences.
So do you think we get to Daytona 500 weekend and they look at Sunday and Sunday looks like it's going to be a wash. Monday looks like it's going to be a wash. Tuesday looks like it's going to be a wash. Do you think that's like an unprecedented thing for NASCAR to do? Is like move it to Saturday?
I think it's too big. It's too big to move. Like the exhibition.
If it's all the way through Monday, then yeah. If it's
like too big to move up, like, because would you rather have the Daytona 500 run on like a Wednesday at noon or like a Saturday night?
Saturday, obviously. Come on.
Obviously, the only thing I can think about is like I don't know. It's just there's so much that goes. It's
the
like
logistics of it.
It's a Super Bowl. Like it's not like, hey, 5,000 fans are gonna miss out. Yeah. It's like, hey, 200,000 fans are gonna miss out.
Oh no, because when I went to the 500 in 2020 and we showed up there and there was like 100,000 plus on Sunday, and we get 30 laps in, it rains out. Showing back up on Monday, it was just like,
yep,
kind of a deflator. It was like, not even a third of this crowd showed back up. So it was like, it's just kind of like.
But damned if you do, damned if you don't, kind of.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. So Dakota was saying like, oh well, all these fans are gonna miss out, but it's like way more fans miss out if you had to run it on a Tuesday. Like,
yeah.
At least if you put it Saturday night, people are still around.
And then here, I'll top this on is the whole point of when we had speed weeks was the people that would go down there for the whole week or weekend, the 4 to 5 day weekend of what it was, and like going for all the races. I feel like probably 75% of the fans did that, not just showed up on Sunday. They came for the whole weekend. So if you ran an Xfinity race on Saturday, which was always a day race, and then holy shit, we're going to start Daytona 500 right after this bitch. Can you imagine what a fucking day that would be?
Well, that's like
that would be fun as hell.
Like Florida Speed Weeks still go on. Like most people that I work with in dirt racing are down in Florida right now.
I passed that truck the other day.
Yeah, like the racing world in America is down in Florida right now, and they will be for a couple weeks.
Other beers in the freezer. Y'all keep talking.
Well, not only that, like there's no shortage of racing to see down in Florida and stuff, and I think we just bring NASCAR back. And if we're talking about financials as a fan. If I know that I'm going to get a full week of speed weeks down there, NASCAR, dirt racing, everything they're doing included, then I'm more willing to pay the price of getting an Airbnb, staying in the infield, like doing whatever you want to do.
Yeah, because it's like a week-long vacation.
Exactly, rather than go down on like a Wednesday or Thursday to see qualifying the duels and Xfinity race and NASCAR. It's like if we're gonna make it worth it for the fan in terms of financials, like I would rather spend that money, get a week full of racing, get to go up the street to New Smyrna, get to go to like anywhere else or Volusia and stuff.
Volusia,
and, like, a bunch of racing throughout the week, then just get like a fraction of it and have NASCAR come to town on Wednesday and just roll them out for qualifying.
And like Dakota said earlier, they've been chasing this make-believe fan that NASCAR swears that we're going to tap into eventually. They've been chasing it for like damn near 20 years now that we still don't really see. when all they really need to do is just convince all their old fans to come back.
I don't know what you're talking about here, but I have this Dell Jr. collectible. It was a beer bottle in 2003.
What the fuck are
I think
we
I
doing?
actually have that in
Did
storage.
you get the joke?
Yeah, I got it.
I hope the fans in the comments laugh.
But yeah, all they need to do is get the old fans that used to actually like and care about NASCAR to just come back. And you know what those fans are at now? They're all at the dirt track. They're all at the short local track, watching super late models, stuff like that. So yeah, if we brought back Daytona Speed Weeks, like the whole thing, I think that would help. You know, go where the race fans are. Let's not go to LA to find this new fan base that doesn't give a shit about racing.
Yeah, I work with a bunch of guys who like are obviously older than me and watch NASCAR and stuff. And I was talking to one of them last week, and he was like, "Man, I can't barely watch that shit anymore. Can't even pass in Martinsville and stuff." And then he was like proceeded to bash the Clash, which valid, I guess you can say, and stuff. But I mean, if we just get rid of like the little gimmicky shit and keep like the old foundational fan back in the sport, like those fans is what will get people in the sport more. Like you got to have fans that are diehards to really be able to teach the sport to
just actual race fans, people that like racing.
Yeah, not just like a casual who's just going to turn it on or go to the big event. Like, we don't need to turn this shit into F1 to where it's like we have a big event and then just the celebrities come just because it's the place to be. Like we need to have it like actual dirt fans. Or race fans. That's what I respect most about dirt. So people who show up to dirt races are dirt racing fanatics.
They know everything about it. Yeah,
everything about it.
Like, I just care about racing. I don't care about football, basketball, baseball. Like I'm here because I like racing.
Yeah, they don't give a shit about any of that other stuff. They're gonna buy all the merch. Like dirt racing merch sales versus NASCAR merch sales. Dirt racing probably kicks their ass.
Also, sick merch, by the way.
Yeah, also sick merch too. So it's like, you know, that's like real diehard fan and stuff.
Speaking
of
sick merch, look at this. Look at this bad boy.
What is that? I can't see it.
Custom.
Is that the Daytona Chairgatin shirt?
This is Chairgatin Daytona.
2022, baby. Yeah, I was gonna name this podcast episode "Dreaming of Daytona." Oh, you're actually rocking some Chairgatin merch. Nice.
Yeah, Chairgatin merch.
Just a little.
I was
teaser.
Gonna say what?
Just a little teaser. I am working on a little new design right now, actually.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I still have a couple I need to order.
A real Chairgatin design. It's gonna be the ultimate Chairgatin design you've ever seen.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
It's a silhouette of me in the creek. Dude, I feel like in 5 to 10 years, NASCAR is gonna finally be like, all right, enough's enough. You know what would get fans back in the stand? Let's make things exactly how they used to be.
Yeah, let's just make good racing again.
And they're gonna be like, yo, we're bringing back old logos. We're bringing back old
numbers
sponsors.
Are going back where they belong.
Numbers are going back in the door, and they're like, they start like changing track logos back to normal,
bringing back the lug nuts, just everything.
We're going to 5 lug nuts.
We're going open face helmets again.
Yeah, they're just like. Okay, I mean, look at what a success.
No Hans device either. Just fuck it. We're going all out.
But look at what a success North Wilkesboro was for like the nostalgia factor.
Yeah, right.
It's just like they're like, hey, in 2028, we're running the 2003 schedule or some shit.
I wonder how it would go if somebody literally just tried to replicate like 2001, 2002, somewhere around there in NASCAR. Like, let's get those cars. Right, let's get everything just replicate it. I wonder how that would go. I bet fans would show up, dude.
The post I sent earlier of the 2005 Bud shootout. I said this racing fucking sucks, and it was sick. It was sick as hell, 16 ago in the Bud shootout.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it was just that was golden. Why did we stop that?
I know when I go to dirt tracks and go to dirt races and have to work them, I'm friends with some of the NASCAR guys that work those events as well. They'll be hired by NASCAR to go out and just promote NASCAR to these people. And they have the hardest job because they're just giving out free NASCAR merch, like koozies. I got a bunch of stuff, hats, whatever, just with the NASCAR logo. And people refuse to accept the free merch. Because they hate NASCAR.
It's like NASCAR sending a Jehovah's Witnesses to fucking
And
good. I don't want any of that gay shit.
The people respond like the people just shutting the door. They're like, "Fuck off, we don't want NASCAR."
Hey, get off my porch,
Matt. You're knee deep into dirt, so why is it? And I don't understand it because I've never really dove into the dirt world like that. Why is it that NASCAR fans are so, or dirt fans that are so anti NASCAR.
I mean,
aside from Larson.
so one big aspect of it was like their drivers just not being there anymore. That's the first thing that like NASCAR fans will blame. They're like, well, it's because Dale died and Junior left and Jeff left, and so people just left with them. That is definitely part of it, but mostly when you talk to these people, it's the gimmicks. They didn't like how
they got against a guy like Ty Gibbs, huh? Nobody likes a guy with a rich grandfather, huh?
Yeah, him and Austin Dillon, man. I don't know why they're not getting more famous. Mostly when you talk to these old school NASCAR fans, because every single person at a dirt track used to be a diehard NASCAR fan. A lot of them still rock the old school NASCAR merch. Like they, the headgear, the jackets, everything. You can see they used to be NASCAR fans. And almost all of them will say the playoffs, just the gimmicks, really. They were like, I didn't like how the NASCAR kept changing things, and they just didn't want to keep up with it. So they went to dirt racing because dirt racing is just still dirt racing.
Yeah, it's been the same forever.
Yeah, and it's great, dude. It's great. The atmosphere is awesome there. Like it's a great place.
They're just putting out their product, and it's badass, and everybody's flocking to it. And they're not changing rules and cars and numbers and trying to create this drama. They're just letting it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They don't even have starters in dirt cars. Don't they have like some podunk S10 giving them like push starts?
Yeah.
Like, are they still doing that?
I mean, it depends where you're at. Yeah, it definitely depends on the race.
It's like well orchestrated though. Like it's all put together. Like the Chili Bowl, they do a really good job.
Well, so that's the thing. It's like there's definitely different levels. Like in dirt racing, it's not as like NASCAR is very organized. There's the Cup, there's Xfinity, there's Truck. There's these tracks, there's these racers. In dirt racing, there's so many different local places and different series. But yeah, there's the big dirt races, depending on if it's a sprint car, late model, modified. So anything out of Eldora, Chili Bowl, stuff like that. Those are like literally at the level of NASCAR. I mean,
but the main complaint in the dirt world is like the purse isn't big enough, right? Isn't that why Larson and Bell just stepped away?
A lot of them will complain about that. But what NASCAR driver was it recently that said he thinks that dirt late model drivers actually probably make more? Was it Denny that said that?
Probably Denny, the big money guy with the 30,000 square foot house.
Right? Yeah. Some NASCAR drivers like I think like dirt late model drivers make a shit ton of money, man. Don't let them fool you.
Like, I remember hearing something like that. They're like, one guy, he makes like $2 million.
Yeah, dirt late models like Jonathan Davenport. Like watch that little like mini series on Flow Racing about him and his ranch. Like he's got money. Those guys make a lot of money at the top end. It's just there's so many of them.
Why don't they go race NASCAR? Because they make more money racing dirt cars.
That's honestly, if you're that good and you make a shit ton of money, like why? Yeah. But yeah, dirt late model makes more than sprint cars for some reason. But there's high limit series now coming in and shaking things up a little bit with World of Outlaws, investing a lot more money in the sport. Actually, Dakota, I think I'm going to do a podcast episode with Jared tomorrow night about some dirt racing. Yeah,
tell him I said hey and I love him.
Yeah, so everybody go check that out. Is it PK Jared? Is that what his?
Yeah, PK Jared.
Yeah, PK Jared. Yeah. So everybody check that out tomorrow night. We'll be talking dirt racing.
I missed him.
Yeah, he's just full on dirt. He's like, fuck it, I gave up on NASCAR. So
yeah, he's the first to lead the ship. For a sport that cares so like probably the big American sport leagues that they probably out of any other sport take the most critiques or listen to the most critiques from their fan base, like most involved with listening to what their fans have to say and literally listen to fucking none of it. Like, do you think the NFL's like, oh, what do our fans think about our product? They're like, no, go fuck yourself. We don't care.
Yeah,
you're going to watch anyway. NASCAR's like, hey, we want your feedback because we care. And we heard your feedback and we didn't listen to it.
The problem is they only hear the feedback from the people that don't actually watch. Yeah. So that's why we keep getting this.
Have you ever watched the race before? Were you there? Good. You weren't? Great. We want to hear what you have to say. Dude, it's just so much. Does the NBA give a fuck what their fans think? Does golf like pay attention to what?
I think MLB has started to. Only the sports that are struggling and failing seem to care.
Yeah.
Yep.
And instead, they're like, you know what these fans really want? An electric series. It's like, look, hey, we got Bubba, we got the electric cars.
You know what's
Alex
sad
Bowman.
You know what's sad is an electric series might do well.
Yo, you know what's gonna suck?
I just don't
The
care.
electric series comes in and it's like better than Xfinity, and it's like, yo, fuck, watch this finish and watch this guy running the high line that they gave the tires no grip, and you're like, fuck, that's badass. And you're like, fuck. It's like, God damn it, I'm not gonna watch it.
Nope, I won't give in to the robots, dude. I won't do it. The robots can fuck right off. AI, if you're listening, I'm coming for you.
Sorry,
AI.
the cars couldn't race tonight because the power went out at the track and
because they were hacked
them
by a hacker.
Yeah, we couldn't charge the cars to race.
Couldn't charge them. Yeah.
Oh, the ideas. But shit, man, I don't know. I don't. I think the boy in me wants to go back to Daytona. I want my speed weeks back. When I listened to DJD this morning, and he was like, "I miss speed weeks, man." I was like, Junior, my heart, like, say it louder, dude.
Preach,
say it,
brother.
Yeah, you don't know how much impact you have. God, it felt good to hear Junior say it.
What do you think about him possibly leaving the booth?
I think that's scary waters right there, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
no way
he is
let him
great.
go, right?
No, MEC, like, whatever he needs, you just, yes, sir.
Yeah. Give him anything he needs. Look, the only thing that, like, if he's getting poached by Fox or something, then whatever. You know.
Oh, well, that's as shitty as Fox was, and as much as we need to save the first half of the year, if that's what it takes, I'm open to it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
If it's like Junior's just gonna stop broadcasting, I'm like, all right, the sport's done. It's over.
I don't see why he wouldn't, man. And I know it sounds bad. Like,
if you take Clint out and put Junior, Kevin, and replace Mike Joy with some professional broadcaster, there's potential.
You need a professional to replace Mike Joy. But as a fan, I don't want to see him leave. But if I'm Junior, like, why is he even still doing it? He's got, I mean, it's Junior. He can do whatever he wants.
Got everything you need, man.
Podcasts. It's like anything he touches turns gold. So
there's about 1 million hats Junior can wear within like NASCAR's realm.
Yes, it's crazy how much.
Hey, we're gonna let Junior just run it.
I'm not sure if I've ever disagreed with Junior's takes on things like him today.
I have a couple times here and there, but nothing detrimental, nothing where I'm like, oh, I don't trust him anymore. It's just like every once in a while I'm like, I don't know about that, but
I mean, for the most part, been, he doesn't say anything too out of wild. I mean, there might be little tweaks and stuff you change, but the general, like, the gist of his takes all come from a good place, and he speaks for not only the common fan, but he speaks for like the diehards because he gets it. Like, I mean, he lived it. So he's like, stepping out of the car now, being in the booth and playing the role that he plays within NASCAR. Like, he understands what like the fans want, and I feel like he's the perfect middleman between like the fans like us and NASCAR. And I don't know why NASCAR
and the old school fans that don't watch anymore. Like, they all still love Junior. They don't like NASCAR, but everybody loves Junior. Like, a lot of old school people hate Jeff Gordon, because he was a Rainbow Warrior and stuff. But everybody loves Junior. Like, you can't find a Junior hater out there.
Well, Junior's still a household name. It's like, like Jimmy still. I mean, his sole mission is just to tarnish his career nowadays.
Well, he's never had a personality. He pissed a lot of people off because he beat their drivers constantly. He dominated NASCAR for too long. He dominated in an era where people kind of started tuning out because he was dominating for too long, and he has no personality. People were just like, "Fuck this! I don't."
Was I the only one that got sad watching the full speed thing and like seeing old Grandpa Jeff?
Oh man, my mom was like, "Is that Jeff Gordon?"
Yeah, I was watching it. I was like,
"Oh
damn, dude, he's getting old." And then I was like, "Here, okay, look. You remember, or you notice how like modern shit now, how much they're like we talked about in the group chat, like how much they're playing on all the drivers' kids and stuff, like Keelan,
next gen.
Jeff Gordon had like a son that was like 13 when he retired. Where the fuck's his kid at?
Is he 13? Is he that old? I know his kid was.
I don't know. His kid was young. His kid was young, but Junior. I mean, Jeff Gordon's like fucking old now. Where's his son?
No, that's a good point. Actually, he's like,
where's his kid at?
Jeff Gordon's old enough to where you would think his kid would be like older,
like getting older. Yeah, his kid's like, dude, racing's gay, Dad. I like soccer.
No, it's football. Actually,
I could see something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a good point. I don't know. I guess
I felt like when Jeff raced, you saw his son like kind of like modern shit now. But now Jeff's kind of like took the president role, whatever, CEO, and is like doing all that. But then I'm like, yeah, Jeff's son should be getting older, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
I'd say he's probably around like
14?
15.
Yeah, but still, you think you'd be like, the blah, what? I don't even know his kid's name, but Jeff Gordon's son's tearing up the such and such circuit.
I think his son's name is like Liam or something.
Yeah. Oh, Liam Gordon sucks. Actually, he never took off and he just quit.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's funny is I googled Liam Gordon, and there is a professional soccer player.
Oh wow.
I don't think
he sent his son overseas to play soccer.
I don't think his son, this guy is like African black, so I don't think
that might be related.
I don't think that's
somewhere in the
Jeff
lineage.
Gordon's son, but that is kind of funny that there is a Liam Gordon. I mean, honestly, I know we were talking about like the next gen of racers. I'm excited for it, man. Like, I'm excited to see what happens with this next generation with like Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick.
I think I'll appreciate it when they're like Ty Gibbs' age and like
yeah.
I'll be like, oh man, I used to watch his dad.
But I think,
and I'll be like, holy shit, is this the cultural shift? Like,
I think that's gonna come quicker than we think, though. Like, literally, we're getting older now. Time moves so much quicker, as you know, with our kids, especially. You're like, holy shit, where'd that time go? In 10 years, they will be like professional drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all think Ty Gibbs is a little shithead. Wait till Braxton Busch.
Oh, dude, that kid's gonna be a nightmare, and I can't wait.
Yeah, Dalton's gonna have every fucking hat. Oh, dude. Yeah, that kid's gonna be a menace.
Yeah, honestly, I'm stoked. I'm stoked for Braxton Busch.
Connor, you can smile. No, I can't. My teeth are fucked. I got teeth of a great white shark. There's nothing to smile about. I lost the clash.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know that these kids, the next gen kids, are gonna go NASCAR, obviously, but it is interesting watching them like tearing it up in dirt racing and being interested in dirt racing. Where I'm like, I don't know. It just kind of goes back to my point of like, what's the future with NASCAR versus like the rise in popularity of dirt racing.
One of the older guys I work with like goes down to Millbridge like religiously to like watch like Braxton Busch and like all them like, and I think
it's a little weird at a point.
I was picking his brain on it. I was like, so is it actually like interesting to go down there? Because I know a lot of people go just to like see Kyle and like Kyle Larson and Clint and shit like that. And he's like, no, it's actually like super fun to like watch these kids like rip it around like Millbridge.
Well, the cool thing about that is knowing that like, it's like, okay, if you're really into football, you can get really into NFL and then you can get really into college. But if you're really into football, and I've gone down this rabbit hole, you get big into high school football.
Well, you're from Texas too, where high school football is a religion down there.
Yeah, but honestly, a big part of the fun of like watching some of the top high school football players is like knowing they're about to go to like Georgia or Texas, and you're like, okay, I can watch these kids develop. And then by the time they hit the NFL, you're like, man, I've been watching this kid since he was fucking.
That's how my dad is with Joey Logano.
Right, that's what I mean.
Joey Logano race legends at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying is like the cool thing about going to watch these kids right now is knowing for a fact that a couple of them, including Braxton Busch, is gonna be like cup driving someday, and you can be like, dude, I watched him tear it up when he was like 12 years old.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of those kids that don't make it, or you see them and you're like, wow, they fizzled out. But then the ones that do, you're like, holy shit.
Well, when they have a rich dad, like, they're gonna make it if they deserve it or not.
Y'all remember when Jeff Gordon was in the Fox booth?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, those were some weird times.
Yeah,
I was always like, well, for one, he's not gonna be here long, and for two,
it just never was like. It was kind of more like, oh, this is cool, but like, why?
Well, he
just did not work with Clint. I don't.
Oh, well, that no, and DW, I loved it because DW would be like, yeah, that dang old thing right there, and Jeff would be like, no, that's not at all.
Jeff was with Clint though too, right?
Yeah, he was with DW, and then they were like, we gotta get this old bastard out of here.
And then
Clint came in, and then Jeff was like, no.
Yeah, I didn't.
It was like literally like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right. Jeff just is too dry, man. He's not like Junior. Like, it kind of goes back to the no personality thing or like dry personality. He was fine in the booth, but he's not Junior. You know?
And then I think they were trying to like, look, y'all two used to fight that one time. Remember? Jeff was like, yeah, I still hate this motherfucker.
Yeah, like he was insightful enough to like take that third role in the booth, but it was like nothing special. Like, can you imagine if we had
he didn't have the passion. Like you
Yeah.
could tell he was just kind of like
It was too bland.
I did this because they asked me to do it.
And it didn't help that it was the Fox booth, which is already struggling, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's just like him with Clint, like Clint is just too over the top. And that was back before they told Clint to like reel it in. If y'all remember that, when he was like way over the top.
He was.
And
I need a beer after that race.
Yeah. Oh
like,
boy, I need to eat some barbecue right now.
Hot rod. Like,
yeah,
I think he's just progressively getting worse. I think the longer he's out of the car, the worse he gets because the more out of touch he gets.
I feel like last year was his best season. He cleaned it up last year.
Yeah.
Still barely bearable. But then here, just watching the Clash, I was like, get this motherfucker out of my face.
remember, he almost lost his job.
Yeah, well, for you know.
Right. But I think that's why he cleaned it up and like got a little bit more professional and stuff.
Well, it seems like old Clint is coming back because I'm not unbiased. Kevin's first race at the Clash, he was carrying the whole
let's
booth.
go back to the Clash. Let's talk Fox booth real quick.
Kevin was carrying. Mike Joy is washed up. And it's over. It's fucking over.
I've been such a doubter of Kevin in the booth because I was worried he'd be kind of like the Jeff, where he just has a dry personality.
Dude,
he's a lot better in the booth. Like,
yeah, you guys are gonna have to speak towards the booth because I'm muted and listen to the scanner the whole time. But I mean, I heard that Kevin was like really good.
At least everything Kevin said was like knowledge. Like he at least knew what the fuck he was talking about.
Look, he's not gonna run the whole thing by himself. But he's a great asset that they could use.
Well, as long as you're having like Mike Joy just like assist him and like throw him assists for like stuff to talk about, because he's the only guy in this booth and NBC's booth who's driven the next gen car.
But
he's got the most common.
Clint kept sounding like he was trying to like manufacture something. Like he was like, "Yeah, you see right there, he's turning the center." And Kevin was like, "No, that's like, no."
I mean, Mike Joy's probably done after this year. Let's be honest, man. He's been.
Time is ticking.
It's like watching the DW kind of thing where you're like, okay, man. I think now it's just age is a problem for you.
Yeah,
like you're
last year was where I was like, I'm done with Mike.
You remember last year we caught a multiple slips. Mike Joy doesn't do that. I think he's just getting older now. Clint, honestly, I think he needs to go. I think the time's done with Clint.
So who do you put in the booth to replace
honestly, I like Kevin up there. I like Kevin up there.
I say you take Clint out, put Kurt Busch in there.
Yep. And then now we need another professional.
J-Mac. Or not Kurt Busch, but J-Mac. J-Mac does great.
J-Mac would be great. I really don't enjoy Adam Alexander. I don't know why Fox is so high on him.
I like him, but like I'm like, he's not Cup. No. Like you want to let him do some Xfinity truck stuff, sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think Fox has a heavy hitter worth it.
How do we feel, especially after full speed, a more veteran Marty? Do you think he could have a spot?
But is he ready to like
Marty
hold the lead anchor? Or is
but that's what I'm asking. Do you think he's like a veteran enough now? He's older now. Do you think he could come back and actually?
I mean, he'd be better than Mike Joy at this point.
I love Marty Smith.
I love Marty Smith. That's why I'm asking. You think he would be good in the booth though, or do you think he's just more of like a color commentary kind of guy?
I think Marty Smith is one of those guys who you can plug into any role in any sport, and he's gonna bust his ass, do his homework. And excel in the role,
but he's already a NASCAR expert. Like
he's already a NASCAR expert. He was forged in it. I mean, he's from around where I'm from. He went to college.
Yeah, he's from Virginia, right?
Yeah, he went to college 20 minutes up the road. He grew up in NASCAR. Like he is forged.
What college?
Radford University.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know what? I knew that actually. I did know that. Yeah.
Hey, with all due respect, what the fuck are they doing with Michael Watcher?
Yeah. Hopefully not the grid walk again.
What are they doing? Fucking Chris Myers and Michael Waltrip open up the races. Chris Myers is like, God damn it, they got me doing that NASCAR thing again. Hey, everybody. And you're like, what the fuck?
But okay, so this is the thing back with Marty Smith is like he would crush it in that role too.
So Marty Smith actually used to work for I live in Roanoke. So Marty Smith actually used to work for the Roanoke Times when he got started. And Dustin Long, who covers NASCAR, also used to work for the Roanoke Times. So it's kind of full circle. I wouldn't mind seeing Marty in that role. The toughest part would be to lure him away from his gig at ESPN. He does a tremendous job with college football, and he loves having his summers off. And
I just think he's big enough now to where he deserves like the more money. Like NASCAR, Fox, whoever wants him, like they need to put up some money to get him back into NASCAR. I think he's good enough. He's a veteran now in the game. He needs to come back.
Well, with the new TV contract, who's going to broadcast Amazon? Who's going to be the broadcasters on the TNT 2-week deal thing or whatever? Is like, what broadcast booth are they going to have?
I don't know.
And Junior's deal's coming up, and money is a big talking point.
I'm skeptical about the whole Amazon. Like,
I think literally it's them just trying to be NFL again. Like,
well, it's like, okay,
NFL does it, we need to do it.
If we're trying to, like, let's look at it like this. If we're trying to make NASCAR more accessible and easier to watch and easier to loop in for the common fan, why are we making it harder to watch? Like, why are we going from platform to platform? Like, I miss it in the old days, which here I am, a traditionalist, to where it's like, okay, I know from February to early June, late May, I'm going to turn on Fox. That's where NASCAR is going to be. I'm going to turn on Speed. That's where NASCAR is going to be. And I know from June, July on throughout the end of the year, it's going to be TNT and ESPN. Like, I just miss the easy accessibility of it and not having to be
Unfortunately, that's just not the world we live in, though.
I know it's not the world we live in nowadays, but God, you know how hard it's going to be.
NFL, every professional sport does it now. They're going to streaming, and I mean, I know people have talked about the potential of this eventually happening, but I think the best solution is a subscription-based model where we don't have any advertising.
I'm fine with that.
We pay
a
monthly
$60
fee
a year or a monthly fee.
I'll pay however much they think it needs to cost for and they can still have
uninterrupted.
They can still have ads running kind of in the bottom corner, up in the corners, stuff like that. You know, they can still make ad money. As a guy that works in this industry, trust me, I know we can squeeze in ad money here and there, and they will, and that's fine. Just don't cut away with commercials. Hell, even do a little smaller box with the fucking outside like they do sometimes with like the QR codes. I don't care. Just keep the goddamn thing running and keep the audio on it. Like, I don't want to go away. I'll pay a subscription for that and just get full access. No breakaways anymore. We get the full race, 100%.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I think that's the way we need to go. Honestly, I think somebody needs to just go ahead and make that move.
My thing is, like, I know it's dwindling, and it's been dwindling for decades, but it's like that old man fan that still is like, what time's the race on Sunday? AKA my dad, or your dad, perhaps. I mean, your dad's a little more technologically advanced.
A little bit more, but yeah, same.
Like your dad probably asked you what time's the race and where are they racing or something. And
100%,
I told my dad, I texted my dad Saturday night. And I said, "Hey, Clash is tonight." He said, "No, it's tomorrow." I said, "No, motherfucker, they moved it to tonight. It's at 8." He said, "Well, what about those heat things? I had them set to record." That's what he said. I had them set to record on my Dish Network.
That's so fucking sweet.
I said,
no.
I said, they're not doing that at all anymore. They're going to practice and qualify, and it's a thing. He was like, "Fuck, I don't get off till 8 o'clock." He was working, and I was like, I was literally like having to tell him, like, I have to tell him when the races are and stuff. He doesn't even have internet. So how's he going to subscribe to watch the only sport he watches? And it's just like, I get it. Times are changing. The new Phantom fan, but it's like, we're already pushing the old fans out. This is just going to cut the cord.
I mean, and if they did this subscription model, it doesn't mean they can't still be on cable, right? Like, they can still run on Fox and anything else. But you're going to be watching commercials. You're going to be getting Fox broadcasting versus whatever superior subscription broadcasting you get, you know, because with the subscription base, you can kind of, as now a paying subscriber, you can demand better commentary. You can say, "Hey, I pay you. I want somebody better in the booth." Right. So we can assume that the product would be better. But they could still put it on Fox. They could still put it on whatever else. And you're just going to have to deal with whatever bullshit you deal with Fox. So I think that's probably the best way to go. What, Connor?
It's literally kind of like you get what you pay for type deal.
Yeah, I think that's the best option. I would gladly pay them a monthly fee to not deal with commercials and have like premier broadcasting and the same crew I get throughout the whole season. I don't have to deal with, different people. Like, let's say we have this ideal lineup where it's Marty Smith, Kurt Busch, and Kevin Harvick. And that's what you get when you subscribe to NASCAR Plus, whatever the fuck they call it.
I think they're scared. They're scared to find out.
I mean, it's a risky move for sure.
They're
like
scared to bomb.
That could like bankrupt some company, right? I mean,
yeah.
I understand the fear, but I just think eventually it's gonna have to happen because that's the way everybody's going. And
it's like the first 75 laps of Saturday. We're running what, a 150 lap feature, and we're splitting it into 75s. Why are we going to a full screen commercial? And on like a 75 lap,
dude.
Like, why are we?
Yes.
Yeah.
At the Clash, like, why are we doing it?
It came back and it was like 16 laps later. You were like,
because it took 18 minutes to run the first 75 laps, and 2.5 of those minutes we went to.
At a minimum, that should have been side by side.
You know what? We should go back. I'm sure somebody's done this, but go back to some older races and time commercial times versus today.
They're 3 times as long.
And honestly, I'm curious though, like how much more time they spend on ads now. So I don't know.
Watch the 04 Daytona 500 and then watch last year's Daytona 500.
You know what? I'm willing to take this on. I'm willing.
Honestly, all right. Do the 04.
Call out from work. Say I gotta watch a full day of racing NASCAR.
You could at least put it on, but timing the commercials might be hard. But I feel like, I don't know, our attention spans may be different, but it's like, I remember watching last year's Daytona 500 and rewatching it being like, what the fuck, dude? Like, it was like commercial, bam, racing, bam, commercial.
You're like, Colton fuck. Does a good job of that.
Yeah, every Sunday he'll be like, what the fuck?
Well, he'll time it out. He'll say how much, he'll tweet out how many, like, it'll be like an hour of commercial times. And he's just like, this is how long they ran commercials. Yeah, he's done a pretty good job.
This is how much green flag racing we saw, and this is how much commercial.
Yeah, yeah. And it's shocking when you actually see it broken out.
Yeah. It's insane, man.
Well,
but shit. NASCAR's back. We got the fucking Netflix series. I really hope that comes back. Or
Netflix series gotta come back. It was great.
I'd love to see, like, not even do I have to wait all year and see a playoffs? Could they do like the first 10 races series? Could they do like a midsummer series or something?
That'd be
like
sweet. Yeah, because that sucks that we gotta wait for the whole fucking year.
Yeah, I gotta wait a whole year, and they're gonna do this year's playoffs. Like, I fuck the playoffs. Give me some like in season depth stuff.
Yeah.
Or like the first 10 races do this 5 drivers. The next 10 races do this 5 drivers. The next 10 races do those 5 drivers.
What drivers do you want to see? So in this most recent one that we just got, we got a lot of like Bubba, obviously. We got some Tyler.
We already got to scratch that one off. We're good there.
We got some Denny. We got a lot of Denny. We got some
Made me want to be a Denny fan.
Willie B, some Larson, some Logano.
I want to see Chris Buescher.
You want to see Buescher? Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd like to see Buescher, Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a glimpse of Ty, and the funniest part about the glimpse that we did see of Ty, it was like totally 180 from what Ty is. I mean, everybody knows Ty is like he gets us, the Christian type guy, and then the glimpse we get of Ty Gibbs is him, motherfucker, like him over the radio, of like him,
dirty rotten bastard.
Yeah, I mean, I think showcasing some of the younger drivers.
Hot take: Willie B is who Ty Gibbs wants to be.
Ooh.
Well, I give Ty. Honestly, I think Ty will be at that level quicker than Willie B got.
No, personality wise too.
I'd like to see Kyle Busch on the. I'd like to see Kyle Busch on the show.
Yeah, just vanilla, plain, boring.
Nah, Ty is too. The motherfucker drives a Lamborghini Urus.
I know he's hot-headed, he's flashy, but he's supposed to be this like quiet, good Christian boy, and I feel like that's what Willie.
I think Ty's a little playboy.
I know. I think honestly, I think he is too. I think
he was in off season hanging out in Abu Dhabi, like.
But he has to put up this front of like Willie B essentially. It's like, look, I'm just William Byron, but deep down he's like wants to party like Noah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean,
all right. So,
okay, hey,
so we want to see more Ty Gibbs.
show aside, this whole like, is this like a new Noah? It seems like a off-brand Noah Gregson.
What fucking trash?
Everything I've seen. Well, no, just everything I've seen, like just in the last 2 weeks, like SHR post and all this crap.
Well,
it's the
obviously,
PG rewash Noah Gregson, and I'm like, yeah, he's lame.
Honestly, he needs that though. He needed to chill out. Like,
yeah, I mean, a little
dude,
bit.
you remember what was that last year, 2 years ago when we were hanging out with him at Daytona? Like, and we were both like, man, he needs to like
pills.
chill out a little bit. Yeah, like he was wired.
He's
like
on drugs.
He just seemed like, I don't know. He seemed like he needs to just like maybe detox for a bit. So I hope.
What is it on a serious note for Noah? What is a acceptable successful season in that 10 car? Because I searched hand and fist all week.
Where'd the 10 car finish in standings last year?
I mean, you got to think that Eric probably
top 25. Hold on, I'm pulling it. My accountant is pulling it up now.
I was literally just trying to type it out. Actually,
yeah, pull that up. Would you, Matt?
Hold on.
We'll be right back.
All right. Keep talking.
It was like
we'll keep it right here.
You know, it was like
20 seconds.
We saw the tweet.
22nd.
We saw the tweets and, you know, from like going into last year and like, you know, NASCAR hyped up this Ty Gibbs, Noah Gregson, this is going to be a rivalry.
Yeah, one was we saw what happened with that.
On the field, one was 3 laps down on Saturday. So it's like, okay, if we're going talent for talent, like Noah can't hold shit.
Well,
no, I mean,
I think half cars there. Talent, I think they're both badass.
And that was kind of a letdown, to be honest, because coming out of the Xfinity series that last year, we all kind of were expecting a Ty Gibbs, Noah Gregson like rivalry. Going into it.
Going to 42 was never the answer.
Dude, that year made Xfinity a lot of fun with those two battling.
It was fun. Yeah.
It was a really fun year for Xfinity. They had that whole battle going on, totally polar opposite, like who they were. It was really fun. And I think people were just excited about the storyline going into Cup, battling for the rookie season. And it just obviously it was Ty Gibbs.
I think Noah lost a lot of his credibility when he went into Phoenix talking big shit and then proceeded to get
they talked mad shit. Never backed it up.
I mean, I don't know, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe the drinking and partying and shit caught up to him. Like,
what if I were to tell you that 80% of how good Noah looked was just his car?
I mean, I wouldn't argue.
I wouldn't argue.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I wish it would have been a better rivalry.
Because look how Carson ran in the 42. Look how Noah ran in the 42.
I mean,
same car.
Yeah.
He finished below Ty Dillon. So
I'll give you that. I don't really see Noah doing like. Part of me is just still a little bit like, come on, Noah, you can do it. And I want to see Noah like in the 10 car, like have some runs. I don't expect any sort of success, but like, wow, he's running 15th. Good for him. Like, I kind of want to see some of that, but I expect him like, holy shit, he's not 3 laps down, he's 2 laps down.
So Eric Almirola finished 22nd. Ty Gibbs finished 18th last season. So
I think that's where you base the 10 car.
Connor, would you think that if he finished somewhere between 22 and 18th at the end of the year, that's a successful year for him?
I'd call it.
I think if he finishes better than what Eric did last year,
that would be 22. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if he finishes, you know,
and Ty Gibbs was 18, and so I was just thinking somewhere kind of around there. That would be a fine year.
I'd say top 20 would be a really good year for Noah.
That's a good point. Yeah. Okay, let's go top 20 for Noah as a successful year. That's kind of
also Stuart Haas in general has a shit ton to figure out because how many? I mean,
you know, did you see their post? Tony said they're not accepting that anymore.
Yeah, but Tony's
still there. I thought he was busy drag racing.
I saw that today and just laughed my ass off. I laughed my ass off today. It was like Tony was like, "That standard, that's not our standard. We're not accepting that anymore."
That was literally them.
Yeah, talk is cheap, motherfucker.
That was literally them being like, "Hey, Tony, can you like post something so we can get some more sponsor dollars?" And he's like, "No, I'm busy drag racing." And they're like, "Please, just
still around.
Please just pretend to care about NASCAR." And he's like, "Fine."
Yeah, it was embarrassing, man.
Yeah.
Tony Stewart says on Sirius XM
drag racing.
I feel like Stuart Haas this year is just gonna like as bad as they were last year. I think they're just gonna be shitter this year.
Well, we changed our logo, dude.
Yeah, that does it all. That
that's
adds
10 horsepower right there.
Just added speed.
Dude, those haulers, I'm so disappointed with those haulers.
I'm not willing to go all out and say that they're going to be even worse or complete shit this year because it's Stewart Haas, man. They I remember a time when Hendrick wasn't good, you know?
Right,
I got it.
I think they'll show flashes in the pan, but look at their driver lineup. I mean, who is?
I know that's.
You want to know? You want to know how it feels? You want to know how it feels to be me? You know when like you and that girl you dated a little while, y'all like break up, and you're like, yeah, what it is, we're mutual. But then like you see 2 months later, you see her post a picture, and she's like dyed her hair like red or some auburn shit, and you're like, oh god, I was dating.
She voted for Joe Biden.
Yeah, no, you're like, oh, I was dating her. You're like, oh, she looks like shit now. And then that's what it feels like being me. And I'm like, hey, Stewart Haas. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And I'm like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing over there?
Well, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out real quick if it was Rodney Childress or Kevin who made that 4-car.
I think it's sad. It's almost sad. I wish Rodney would have went out with Kevin.
Yes, I agree.
I wish Rodney would have hung like, hey, we out, y'all.
I kind of hate that he didn't actually.
Well, I'm sure it was money influence.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Rodney right now, he's just makeup on a turd.
Okay. Well, for a long time, Rodney said he was gonna. He said when Kevin hangs it up, I'm done. And I always thought that was cool. And he's like, I'm coming back next year. And I was like, okay. I have nothing against Josh Berry. I like Josh Berry. The 4 will forever be home team for me. But it's just like parting my ways. Like, hey, I wish y'all the best.
Yeah.
But it was definitely weird. And then watching the clash, Kevin's like, I'm not gonna lie, Clint, it's pretty fucking weird. This is weird. And he was like watching the car go down. I'm not like, I just seeing it all. It's almost just sad, man. It's like seeing Stuart Haas. They're like, no, for real, we're not playing. We're gonna be fast this year, man.
Man, I'm tired of the Priest hype. Get over Priest,
dude. I was never on the Priest train.
He's worthless.
I was always like,
I'm over it.
I was always like, yeah, sure, dude.
I was over him from the get go, and last year I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give him a shot.
He had to stay relevant.
I think that's all of Stuart Haas's drivers.
He wanted to be relevant so bad he flipped his car at Daytona just to get some airtime.
Barry,
he was such a good modified racer, and
what about Chase Briscoe? I throw Chase Briscoe right in there with him.
I mean, I look at that driver lineup, I look at that organization, and what there's nothing going for them. They don't have great crew chiefs.
I have way more faith in 2311 than I do Stuart Haas.
Oh, I mean, yeah, 2311 still
Trackhouse. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, like I'm totally like, yeah, Trackhouse is gonna fuck him up. Now, Daniel Suarez, that's a whole nother topic. Daniel Suarez is a Mexican Ryan Priest.
It's just like Jordan Bianchi said, like colleague, you know how their thing is, trophy hunting. They're going trophy hunting with BB guns, and I think Stuart Haas is bringing a knife to a gunfight this year. And
yeah, dude, I don't know where they got off the fucking rails. Maybe when they went to
they don't have any driver development. Like why?
So who's their best driver? Josh Berry, Noah Gragson,
Briscoe.
Briscoe's the only one with a cup win.
But it's like if you look at Ford and you look at Stuart Haas, why would you let a guy like Zane Smith go and then bring in Noah Gragson for the 10?
Noah, I think, was just at a 75% off discount, and they needed somebody to put in that car. That's all I think that was. They put Rush Truck Centers on a fucking test car. Like they couldn't even get a sponsor.
Straight up, I think they were like, "Hey, if it worked for Larson, let's see if it works for Gragson."
Noah Gragson is just Ryan Priest on fucking Lexapro and Adderall.
Noah Gregson's just a less talented Kyle Larson.
We're both Asian. I don't know. Noah's I guess at least more like personal, likable person.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I think he'll bring in some dollars. He'll bring in some sponsor dollars. Sales. He brings in sales.
You'll have weird little fucking kids that are obsessed with him.
Yeah.
That say they weren't obsessed with him, like buy all his merch.
The funny thing about Noah is I was watching Full Speed with my buddy who's like loosely into NASCAR. Like he's getting into it only because I'm like coaching him into it.
Right.
I like it.
We all got those friends.
We were going into like episode 3 and he was like, he never really like watched NASCAR that much. He's like, hey, is that one like clip in here from when that dude punched the shit out of Noah Gragson? He's like, yeah, fuck that guy. or whatever. And then like they showed that clip, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a Ross fan."
Yeah,
And
you
so,
should have
like,
known it was going down. It was going down fast when the bowl cut. That whole bowl cut.
Yeah, when you get a bowl cut, and then you get fucking rocked like that, I don't know how much coming back there is from that.
I
Especially when you
disagree.
can't drive.
I think that was a smart move, man. That made him more famous.
Yeah, but for the right reasons, though. I mean,
doesn't matter. He's still in a ride. If he was Ryan Priest and the shit that he did happen, like Priest wouldn't be in a ride.
Yeah, that's true.
Noah's in a ride because people know his
sure,
name.
For sure. Priest would
have.
Yeah.
I think the world.
I know the only reason. That's the only thing that gets Noah back. I think was just because of his personality.
All right. Well,
yeah,
I think that's going to wrap it up for episode 1. We've gone long enough, much longer than I thought, actually. I thought
we just opened Pandora's box.
And then we get fucking Ty Gibbs Stunt Devil over here, and he just gets us
off.
Ty Gibbs, but Lexapro and meth mouth.
Gets us going, man. I am just dreaming about Daytona, though. That's all I'll say to wrap up the Clash.
It'll be the first one we ain't been at in a while.
The Clash was the Clash. Let's end it.
We'll see what next year unfolds.
Let's end it in LA. Let's move on to Daytona, please, because that's all I just care about Daytona. That's the only thing. I watch the LA Clash and I go, okay, I'm excited for Daytona. I don't care about this.
Yeah. When's
Daytona?
Daytona, and I'm not ruling out Dega either. I really do want to go to Dega this year, so trying to see how I can make it happen.
Please, whatever I need to do to help you make that happen, you let me know.
Well, in all likelihood, I'll fly to Atlanta and I'll knock on your front door and
come on. I always tell everybody, come on.
It's Dakota. You can definitely do that.
Yeah. Always welcome, dude. I'm always
trying joke, but he will probably just pick you up from the airport.
We'll figure out how to make it happen because I feel like my NASCAR fandom career is just incomplete. Like I don't have any Dega stories to speak
to. If you haven't been to Dega, that's pretty. Come on, man.
So
if you're gonna go, you got to come with us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean.
All right. Well, I guess we'll be back next week to talk pre-Daytona.
Hell yeah.
Join us next week. Daytona's 500's coming up. We're going to get rowdy. It's been fun kicking this season back off. We're here with all the degeneracy. C-Bun in the house. It was great hollering at you. I got to see my boy Rattlesnake. Oh, I can't wait to see y'all next week. Let's shut this bitch down. Chairgatin's back, bitch. See you, Connor.
Peace.
Later.